Good evening, football fans. We are here tonight with the first ever Red Zone appearance where we will be streaming two games at the same time. Tonight we have the Charleston Federals hosting the DC Tribe and the Lincoln Spiders taking on the Indiana Lynx. With me tonight in the booth is new owner of the Washington Wastelanders, Chad Rowland, and long but not forgotten head coach and owner, Liam Hammer. Welcome, fellas.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So we're excited about tonight here. We look like everything is setting up good. If anybody's listening to this right now, let us know how our audio is. Let us know if we need to turn somebody's volume up or down. But I think we're ready to go. I think we might have a surprised guest stop by here later.
Ooh.
What I've heard.
Mr. Kamish. So they say three's a crowd, but four, things can get naughty.
You got to pay double for that kind of action.
Well, that's what we're looking forward to. Yeah.
There's a reason Colin put this as a mature stream.
Yeah, that's right. It's not for kids, folks. I click that button every time I stream the WFA game, even if there's no announcing, because you never know. You never know. Well, I mean, I don't want to hold us up any longer. Chad, you want to start your stream, and then once I see it going, I'll start mine. And there will be a little bit of a delay between yours and mine. So we'll go ahead and start. Now, we are in week one, so nobody's won, nobody's lost. But, fellas, who do you got this week?
Well, since Chad's setting up the game, I'll go first. We'll start with the DC Tribe Charleston Federals game. Obviously, formerly Memphis Tribe. Moving to DC, got Charleston Federals. We know they want to throw the ball. DC has historically been a pretty solid defensive team, but without DB there, with Mac Anthony taking over, some of the offensive moves they've made, I think are a little bit questionable. I think Charleston's going to win that one, but they're still going to throw like 4 interceptions.
What do you think, Chad?
Yeah. I mean, I think with the Charleston DC game, this is going to be really interesting to see that new quarterback in DC this season. There's other weapons that are gone too. I mean, Buchanan Simons is gone as well, their top wide receiver from last season. Now he's over at yours truly in Washington. But so it's going to be a really interesting game to watch and see how Charleston plays.
Big matchup to watch in that game is cornerback for the Tribe, Tyree Britton, silver cornerback matched up against gold Randy Pierce. That's going to be a big game, a big part of the game. We know the Federals like to run their streak routes, and Tyree Britton's going to be one-on-one a lot with Pierce. And if he can hold on, Tribe are going to have a good chance to win, but it's going to come down to that matchup.
Yeah, Randy Pierce had a great season last season, and he is now officially the only gold wide receiver on the Charleston Federals offense. So I would expect him to be targeted a lot by no longer rookie, now second year, Tyler Roush. So that should be a good game here as it kicks off. But how about over at the Lincoln Spiders in Nebraska? Is that right?
Lincoln hosting the expansion team, Indiana Lynx, this season. We'll talk about Lincoln first. Obviously, a lot of changes this offseason. Myself, I was the head coach last season in Lincoln to create the Washington Wastelanders. And a lot of these guys that I had on my team, that season are gone. Now new quarterback Malcolm Middlebrooks coming over from Detroit. That's going to be interesting to see what he could do with this offense. Aaron Higdon's still the starter at the running back this season as well. But, defensively, they still have Boomer Tiggs. They picked him up in a trade last season. He's a guy that can really set that edge, have a big pass rush, and then look no further than also a big playmaker in the back end of that defense, Kurt McDuffie. A gold corner. They really didn't have any gold corners last season. Now they have one here with Kurt, so it's going to be interesting to see what this Lincoln team can do.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Chad. One thing I think to look for on Lincoln is just how their playbook's going to be put together. One guy on offense I do want to keep an eye on is their slot receiver, Loki Olson. He played for the Omaha Marshals for the first few seasons of his career, and that team was pretty historically bad, but he was one of their few bright spots. And the question is, will they use him? Well, that's to be determined, but he could be a valuable tool for them working on those kind of short to medium routes in this game.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that I have high expectations for the Lynx and or the Spiders, but I will say that, owner Copeland had a good opportunity last season to learn from you, Chad, and showed what the Spiders are capable of. And on the same hand, we have Ryder, who's the owner of the Lynx, who has been basically running the New Haven Lancers for a couple seasons with a chance to fully own this team now. So, I mean, I want to see a shootout tonight.
I think that what you said there with Ryder, I think he's he had those years under his belt as we get an interception over in Charleston, the first of many, I predict. But that first season of his seasons under his belt with New Haven, he knows how to at least build a competitive non-playoff team, and he brought in some good players. But I think in this one, I think this is an important game for them to win if they have any hope for this season.
Definitely agree with that. So it looks like Charleston is getting the ball back quickly after that short drive, but then just there we had another interception.
Non-playoff team.
Yeah, look at that.
He brought in some good players, but I think in this one, I think this is an important game for them to win if they have any hope for this season.
Sir William drips with his first pick of the
Definitely
season,
agree with
and
that.
Lincoln looking like in great field position right now here on the
So it looks like Charleston is getting the ball back quickly after that short drive, but then just there we had another interception.
I was gonna say, I thought I heard myself
look
twice.
at that. The Lincoln Spiders getting an interception there and getting it back to the Lynx's 30-yard line. That should be Sir William drips.
Hey, Chad, is your mic going through the Lincoln game?
Position right now here on the 31. Might be.
Turn that off.
Well, let's see.
Oh, we're having some feedback
Maybe that's what it
issues
is.
here.
Let's see that.
We're getting away from that. Sorry about
Away
that,
from
folks. We've got two inputs, a few seconds apart.
I think it's gone now.
Okay, I was. Do we have somebody down? Oh no!
Injury in the Memphis game.
Talk about a lot of injuries. This
And
week.
Indiana picks off Lincoln. We have three
Getting away
picks
from
already
that.
in these
Sorry
games.
about that, folks. We've got two inputs. Oh no, we still have input. A few seconds apart. Okay, I was.
You see, they're trying to
we have
run
somebody
that
down?
streak route.
Oh, no.
I think that was to the tight end. It might have been actually. Yeah, it looked like it was to Frank Moore, but picked off by the safety. Read him all the way, and Malcolm Middlebrooks, a veteran, he's got to have a better read there.
Chad, see if you can turn off your desktop audio on OBS.
Tyler Rush is going to go down. Sacked. Memphis defense standing up here. Player that they've lost was Glenn Hunter, outside linebacker. So Hingle McCringleberry will be filling in for him until we get more information.
A lot of these names are new this season, but still might be familiar to some.
Now it's a party.
Now it is a party. Hello.
There he is. Okay.
How's it going?
Good to have you here, Kamish.
Good to be here. It's a four-way now.
It's a foursome.
This is why it was a mature stream.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm just going to test this Lincoln game here real quick, guys.
Test away.
Make sure we don't have any feedback problems here. Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. I think we got to figure it out. That's my fault.
No, you're fine. You're on track here.
So what have I missed so far?
3 interceptions.
Oh, lovely.
There's a lot more interceptions when there's two games at once.
True.
No kidding.
Colin, is Mac Anthony asked if that was Jamie Spencer or Mac Anthony there at quarterback. I couldn't tell from my viewpoint.
I'm unsure. Is there supposed to be a certain who's supposed to be in?
It is
right
Mac
now?
Anthony. It is Mac.
It's supposed to be Mac Anthony.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's correct. It's correct. It's number 5.
Okay, good. We've got something under review in Charleston.
It looks like
It might have
Let's see
been a
what
catch
the
out of
play is.
bounds.
yeah, I think it's a catch out of bounds here. Definitely,
he's definitely
got it
in.
down.
Sure what Ref 62 was seeing there.
So
I mean,
no,
we all know he doesn't see.
didn't get a a chance to talk to you before you hopped in here. What we're going to do tonight to try to simplify this is you and Liam are going to team up on the Charleston game, and me and Chad are going to team up on the Lincoln game. So we will banter when we're on this screen here with both teams, but whenever we dive into one team in the red zone, we'll let you and Liam take over Charleston. Okay?
All right, sounds good to me.
I'd reach out to maybe Joel back. Yeah, I was surprised that his skin tone needed too, but that might just be a file error. If you talk to Joel, he should be able to fix that up.
You know, sometimes there's some funny things on those files. One of my favorite things about Ryan Roosevelt is that he has those dark hands, and I think it's just because he wears long sleeve T-shirts when he's in the off season, and just really gets tanned up. And yeah, it's funny to see.
He has a diva tan, not a farmer's tan.
Diva tan, that's right.
Yeah, there are a couple of skin tones that get messed up over the off seasons, so he's got a whole lot of players to go through. So if there's specific guys that you want fixed, let them know. But sometimes we just let it go a little bit.
Mac Anthony couldn't get a first down in the DC game. Tried to scramble out, and both teams are going to punt.
Well, he tends to scramble. Is that right?
We haven't seen too much of Mac Anthony in his career, honestly. He's been sitting behind Jamie Spencer. Noah would know more, but has he started a game before for the Memphis Tribe, or is this his first one? I know he used to be with the Wolfpack back in the day.
Well, actually, this is Mac Anthony Jr., so his other player was a copper and got retired last off season. He got one in for Rise League this season. So this is his rookie that's playing right now, getting the opportunity. He is a bronze, playing over silver Jamie Spencer. I don't know how we feel about that, but this is basically what it was explained to me as. This is his new Jamie Spencer project. He wants to build him up, so we'll see how it goes for him.
Well, I mean, hey, I hope if he has hopefully he has better football genes than his father, Mac Anthony Sr.
So far, I mean, the outfits
Oh my goodness,
a little stale. Oh, nope, never mind.
Nice play up on the out route there to number 19 for the Charleston Federals. That was Jeff Bainfield, the former Montreal Berserker, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little under route, and just spun out those two guys there, and then got a block downfield from the tight end Matt Vartmeter, and that's our best offensive play we've seen in either game today.
Yeah, Bainfield is a guy who's jumped around a little bit. He got that silver progression, and he still has 2 years left under his deal, so you're going to have him cheap for a while. But I think he was on Kansas City last season. He had a really good year. Now he's the number 2 in Charleston, so he's doing really well right now. So.
Out route here, it's going to be thrown and complete to the tight end, and that's going to be a gain of 8 there. It looked like a 50Z deep post route there, and the linebacker couldn't keep up with Van Meter.
Yeah, that's the rookie Van Meter coming over from the Rise League as well. 6'9", 250. So he is a huge target in the middle of the field. You got him, and then on the other tight end spot, you got Bobby Blizzard at 6'8", 245. Twin towers at the tight end position.
Run there to Trey Tucker only brings up 1. Yeah, you were mentioning Van Meter's size advantage. 6'9", 250. Just an absolute beast of a man. And I mean, he's lined up against these linebackers for
this
DC.
kind of pickup should be no problem for us.
You know, they have some height there, especially with Liam Molyneux, 6'5", 257. But he has a solid 4 inches on any one of their linebackers here. So I expect that to be someone they go after all game. Hand off here to Tucker again. That's going to pick up the first down. And we're inside the red zone here. Our first red zone appearance.
Yeah, so Trey Tucker is another one of these rookies that he picked up. Nolan is taking the Colin approach and just taking a bunch of rookies and making them his players. Not as egregious as Colin did, but Trey Tucker's definitely one of those guys that's a focus of their offense. He was really dominant in the Rise. I think he had like 9 yards after contact.
And he's going to get some yards after contact there. It's a touchdown, and the Federals are going to score the first points of the red zone stream. Charleston's up 6-0. What a great run there from Trey Tucker, shaking off 2 defenders on his way to 6.
And that's what he's been doing. That's what he did in Tucson. He just bounced off guy after guy and just make plays.
That was awesome. Yeah, that's what Trey Tucker's known for. What'd you say, 9 yards after contact?
I think it was something like that. It was a crazy amount. No one's ever been close to touching it.
That's insane.
And that adds a new dynamic for the Federals offense, who we were talking about before the stream, is known for throwing the ball. Last season they threw it 460 times, and they went through a couple different running backs last season, Cade Smith and Joel Woods, and I think they have found their forever back with Trey Tucker.
Yeah, Trey Tucker is happy to be in Charleston. He has set up a golf scramble tomorrow with Nolan and myself at Riverside Golf Course in Mason, West Virginia at 11 o'clock in the morning. So he must be feeling pretty good about this game, good enough to wake up and play a round of golf.
Are you going to try to break his knees again?
Well, that's Matt Bradley.
Matt Bradley's.
And he still is a little giddish when he gets around me.
I would be too. DC's going to get the ball back on the left. Lincoln's going to get the ball on the right. See if either of these two offenses can get something going. Both these offenses have been fairly stagnant. Obviously, DC had that pick and then 3 and out on the drive after, and Lincoln had a pick as well as they got down toward the red zone on their side.
Yeah, I mean, Lincoln's making some progress here. So, who do they have? Malcolm Middlebrooks that they picked up this year, gold quarterback, and Aaron Higdon. I mean, that's a familiar name in the WFA.
It looks like DC has picked up an injury to their linebacker, Glenn Hunt, something we're going to have to look at the end of the game.
Yikes. Thanks for
looks like
reminding
he's out
me.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw, 2 weeks.
Hingle McCringleberry will be replacing him. I just wanted to say his name again.
Only for Joel would I let this happen.
That's funny. It's really funny.
Third down for DC. First down for Lincoln. They're going to throw another swing pass. And I've noticed Lincoln has been peppering these swing passes to Higdon. What do you guys think about that strategy from Lincoln?
I mean, he's probably their best offensive weapon. They really don't have a ton others. That's some of the things I was talking about in my video. Their number 1 receiver currently is a bronze receiver, Drake Bell. I don't know why they're starting him over Bull McRae, but it's not my team. So they really, and Jonah Ross really hasn't done a ton in the league. He's been in here a couple of years. So Aaron Higdon's probably the guy you need to be force feeding as much as possible. So I think it's a decent strategy. We'll see if it works out.
I was really wanting to see how they would use Bull McRae. I did notice that Drake Bell, the smaller 6-foot Drake Bell, was going to be starting over the 6'4" Bull McRae. Kind of an interesting move there. Not sure if it's, trying to do some wide receiver 2 cheese, but, somebody like Aaron Higdon and Jonah Ross is really going to have to step up as well in this offense if it's going to survive.
Yeah, I like that strategy. I totally believe in the wide receiver 2 cheese.
I mean, San Diego, in a different league, definitely believes in this wide receiver 2 cheese as well. But that's neither here nor there. Another guy I'd like to see, I mentioned before, is Loki Olson. Had some solid seasons with Omaha, which that's saying something. So I'd like to see them get the ball there. They're going to throw it over the top in DC, and DC has it all the way to 21, just outside of the red zone. That was a beautiful throw to the wide receiver. Yeah, Brody Slayman, the 3rd receiver.
Oh, and Hidkins gets smashed by Samuel Davis.
Samuel Davis is a really underrated guy.
Wow, just got stood up like a man right there on that toss play.
Great play by Samuel Davis.
I forget where
Davis
he is
actually
on the
has
all-time stats, but Samuel Davis is right up there in tackles. Like, he's been a really dominant force for a long time.
Another deep pass is picked off.
Interception heading the other way for Indiana.
Taking it to midfield, so they're going to have some great field position there.
Yeah, they are. But
and
right
DC
now,
is in the red zone.
Yeah, we're in the red zone, baby.
Yeah, that was Eddie Lynch in Indiana, the former Wolfpack cornerback.
I'm sure Jake's happy to see his Wolfpack players doing well in
Ooh,
Indiana.
challenge flag. Interesting.
I thought this one was pretty clearly in. It was small. Obviously, we're looking at the pick, but see what the Ref 62 sees here. definitely hits 2 feet down. That's a catch in any league.
Yeah, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, in APF you only need 1 foot
That's
in.
correct.
Yeah, I think so.
Either way, you're good.
Did Nolan get a bodyguard? Did you see that?
I think he did. I think he did.
Really stepping up security in West Virginia.
This defense last season finished 3rd in total defense. They're in the Reds. They're backed up against their own end zone right now. 2nd and 1 for the Memphis or DC. Oh wow, already messed up. DC Tribe here. Jamie Spencer going to throw it to the end zone over the top. It's going to be knocked away. What a play there. I think that was the linebacker who managed to make up the ground to knock it away. They were going for the fullback, Corey Phillips.
Corey Phillips, huge target in a different way than Matt Van Meter at 5'10", 270. That is an insane guy to be lined up against.
3rd and 1 here. They're coming out with a heavy set. Expect a run to Lance Washington. We'll see if they give it to him. 6'4", 235 running back. It's going to be actually the fullback, the big man. The big man bounces outside, and he's going to get the first down to the 7-yard line. We were just talking about Corey Phillips in the air. Now back to the ground.
Yeah, Corey Phillips, he played for the Phoenix Fighters back in the day, and he had 1 run where he just ran over a bunch of people, and that was enough to get him traded for a 1st or 2nd round pick. It was crazy. He barely played, but yeah, he's got some wheels when you give it to him.
Hey guys, I'm going to check here and see if Spencer is in or Mac Anthony Jr. here.
I think Mac Anthony's in.
It should be Mac Anthony. It's the right number. It's just his skin color is off.
Okay, let's just double check that real quick. We'll switch over to the Lincoln game.
You're not missing a whole lot. So you're not missing a bunch. The first quarter, we're in the second quarter now. 10 just over 10 minutes left. And in the first quarter, a combined 43 passing yards with 3 interceptions between both teams.
Wow.
Lovely.
Yeah, thanks for catching that, Hammer. Yeah, Anthony is in.
He did the Michael Jackson treatment this offseason.
Got that pigment.
Back over in the goal to go for DC. 2nd and goal here at the 7. Mac Anthony had to go over the sideline. His coach didn't believe that was actually him, but they did DNA test real quick, and turned out it is Mac Anthony. He's going to throw the out route. That's going to be incomplete. No flag on the play. Just a little bit out of the range of Brody Slayman.
Yeah, it looks like they're targeting a decent amount coming out of the slot. So we'll see if they try to get it to one of their other big receivers. They got the rookie Broderick McFadden as their number 1. So I expect him to be a target here in the red zone.
At 6'5", 230, another big man. We have a lot of physical freaks here in the WFA.
We breed the best.
3rd and goal out of the shotgun. Mac Anthony's going to throw it. He has a man corner route. It's going to be caught. End zone touchdown. And the DC Tribe are going to be an extra point away from tying the game. We just talked about him, and there he is, Broderick McFadden.
What do you know? Yeah, Broderick McFadden, rookie guy, comes over from the Fargo Freeze. Had Terrence Hudnall throwing him the ball. He is a silver. He has route god, breakaway burst, and acrobatic catches. Not a bad build for a wide receiver at all.
And for those people at home, just a reminder of how the rule works. If you are contacted by the defender, once you have possession in the air, that is where they count the ball from. So because the defender hit him in the end zone, even though his feet landed outside of the end zone, he is ruled down in the end zone as a touchdown. So just in case you were confused on why that was a touchdown right there. But now we have a tie game. Nice balance to the scintillating action we have here on the right.
Looks like another interception.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say it's back and forth. It's like I don't know if it's football or volleyball that we're watching over here in Lincoln.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the last Lincoln opener that we saw where they lost, 70-2? I forget what it was. But
it was bad.
But at least they're keeping it close.
Well, it probably doesn't help that the other team is not playing that good either.
What's going to be awesome is that this Charleston's game is going to finish and we're going to go into quadruple overtime in Lincoln.
because the score will still be 0-0.
I
And
maybe should have
Lincoln, in all honesty, Lincoln has been the closest team in all honesty. They were on the 30-yard line before they threw an interception. So, waiting to see how if anybody can get up closer there.
Yeah. And, Indiana has the ball right now, and they're trying to do all that they can with what they have, but it's been hard for these new expansion teams. Lincoln only has 3 gold players on their roster, and all of them are on defense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's by choice. let's call a spade in this situation, okay? Like it's
I'm just trying to be nice.
That is, you could be nice all day. You don't need to pop rainbows in his ass. Like this is by choice. So I mean, I was surprised. Like I said earlier, I was surprised he went and got Middlebrooks. At least he was trying to show something.
Yeah, and Indiana made a big trade with getting Louis Luai at fullback last week.
Yeah.
Deep throw in the Charleston game on their patented 50Z deep post out of the I formation. You're going to see that a lot. They have 2 plays out of that. It seems like they have a run up the middle and they have a deep shot. So see how the defense adjusts that. But good offense there from Charleston.
Yeah, Tyler Roush, for those who don't know, was number 2 in touchdowns and passing yards last season, only behind Hugo, and so it kind of really doesn't count. But so Tyler Roush was way up there. So he should be doing a lot against this DC defense.
You know what? One category that he was number 1 in, unquestioned, interceptions. 41 interceptions in 12 games. That's insane. I was the Wolfpack coach, who the first person in the league just to throw it and hope for the best, and even I didn't have that many interceptions. It's insane, but I love it.
Lincoln is actually on the Indiana side of the field now.
Ooh.
There we go. And looks like Malcolm Middlebrooks has a QBR of 27.3.
Great job.
I made the prediction that he's going to enter free agency as a silver next season, and it looks like we're well on our way. Thanks a lot, buddy.
How the mighty have fallen.
I mean, can we talk about that move for a minute? Because obviously now, Detroit is off, trades Middlebrooks to get Mason Jackson. And then yesterday, Mason Jackson gets released after 1 game. I mean, the situation in there, obviously Lincoln benefits a little bit from Middlebrooks. Your guys' mind, what is Detroit doing? Like the second quarterback and their third. Now they're on their 3rd quarterback.
I mean, I'm going to speak from a man who's gone through quarterbacks like underwear in Montreal. When you know, and Detroit knew from week 1 that was not the man to fill the pants for the Fury, and you got to cut him. Better to cut him now in week 1 than to cut him later after you've already lost a couple.
And I agree with that too. I mean, as someone who's also gone through quarterbacks, in my case more like diapers. Malcolm Middlebrooks, I mean, he played end of last season for the Fury. He didn't have all that great of stats. Only a 6.6 yards per attempt, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he is older. I mean, we haven't really seen the Malcolm Middlebrooks of old, the one that was good back with the Grizzlies in quite a few seasons now. He's been iffy at best for the most part in the last 4 seasons. And maybe Detroit saw him in the offseason that he's just not worth that gold contract that he's on right now for them, and try to move on. But like I said, I agree with Colin, going and moving away from Jackson after week 1. If you know, and maybe he's too good and they were trying to tank. Who knows?
Yeah, Middlebrooks, he came in halfway through the season after they kind of gave up on the Travis Matthews experiment, and he did all right. Like, he did better, but yeah, like you said, if he's not, I think they just like the assets they were getting back.
There's a touchdown in the Charleston game, over the top, as they like to go so often. Tyler Roush to Randy Pierce. We said that was going to be a big matchup against Tyree Britton, and Tyree Britton lost that one there. It's going to be 14-point game after the extra point.
Lincoln's got a 3rd and inches in the red zone, fellas.
Ooh.
3rd and inches going over the top.
Oh!
He dropped it.
Of course.
Jonah Ross wide open.
Yeah, he was
The end
wide
zone
open.
trying to make a diving play and just dropped it. 4th and inches. Lincoln.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm just excited to see Lincoln march the ball down the field like they have. And if they just play it smart here, they're going to walk away. What are they doing?
Looks like they may be trying to go for it here. 4th and inches.
We'll say we're going to walk away with points, but Lincoln's getting greedy. And I don't know if they're trying to draw them off sides. We've seen this before in APF. Okay, there it is.
Yep. So they waste the timeout. It's going to be 4th and inches. Looks like Lincoln will hopefully come away with some points here.
And there's Copeland.
Yeah, and there he is, Jim Copeland in the flesh. And going to go over there and talk to Middlebrooks, try to figure out what the hell was going on in his mind.
I love this. This is awesome.
If I had to guess what was going on in Middlebrooks' mind, I'd guess a 1 3-letter word. Gun.
Yeah. This looks like, let's see, a 34-yard field goal here for the kicker for Lincoln. 34, 35, somewhere around there.
And that kicker is Mr. Virgil McCarthy.
Yeah, Virgil McCarthy gets it through the uprights, and the first score of the game here in the Lincoln, Indiana game is a field goal. It's 4:30 to go.
Charleston gets another interception. They're back at the red zone. 2nd pick for the young Mac Anthony Jr. This time picked off by number 30. That was Matt Bradley, the free safety.
Another one of their rookie standouts that they got in the draft this season. And he was high on my board and a lot of other people's, and he's showing it off right now.
And after a brief excitement in the Lincoln game, we're right back to the scoring of the Charleston game. Charleston has a chance to go up 2 scores now if they can convert here. 12 yards to go for the end zone. Shotgun look here for Tyler Rouse. Drop back, plenty of time. Out route complete to Randy Pierce. Pierce is going to pull him into the end zone, and he scores. And we're an extra point away from 21-7 here in the 2nd quarter in Charleston.
Randy Pierce, just a dominating player. Over 1,600 yards in only 12 games last season. Incredible stuff. Didn't even need to be overpowered to do it. Like he's just been dominant, and he's right back on his dominant ways.
Yeah, it looks like Randy Pierce and Tyler Rouse are doing exactly what we said they needed to be doing to win this game. And you can hear the excitement in Charleston right now.
It's like
Good run there from Indiana.
Yeah, moving the ball forward. I think that's Steven Sanders.
Steven Sanders on the run.
Now,
Yeah, Indiana
has
two. Yeah.
silver. Oh, yeah, you were just saying. Go ahead.
No, they have 2 silvers. So you'd expect them to come out in maybe some split back formations or something similar to that, but but they're not.
What's confusing to me is that they actually paid an extra $5,000 to get Flash Hendricks here.
Yep.
As someone who's had Flash Hendricks on his team twice, why?
That's a mistake no matter how you look at it.
When you know, Hammer.
When you know, you know. And I knew in that first game after we drafted him, I screwed up.
Fun fact about Steven Sanders, he was given the Best Call-Up Award in Season 2's ASFL call-up. He played for the Indianapolis Cyclones back then, so yeah, he's been here for a while.
That's awesome.
Finally getting his opportunity to start full-time again.
Well, we just had our first season of regressions where we got some old farts playing in the league right now. Noah, do you know off the top of your head, do we have anybody playing right now who is regressed or will be regressing after this season?
I will take a look. I'd have to the only players that regressed so far are running backs and linebackers. But I'll go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, so only 4 running backs regressed. That's Chris Dixon, CJ Green, Carlos Reyes, Cade Smith. So Leon Larson, I think, is on Indiana. He's a defensive tackle.
Yes,
and
he is.
then Glenn Hunt, who got injured, he regressed as well. I think that's everybody that's playing currently. Maybe Jamison Bloodfeaster, is he on Indiana?
Bloodfeaster
yes,
is
yes.
on Indiana.
All right, yeah. So he regressed as well. He's from my season 1 Jackson Crabs team.
Wow.
That's cool.
Going all the way back. So yeah, he'll continue to regress. I don't know if we ever decided like when retirements are gonna happen in old age. I think we'll have to talk about that. But I'm in my mind currently, once you get to that second year of regression, like there's gonna be we'll do some kind of randomizer, and maybe you get retired, maybe you don't. So that could be interesting. I'll put it on the list of things to talk about later.
I like that, and I also liked this little duck move by Jamie Spencer. I'm going to go into a little instant replay action for you guys to see this here. Look at this.
Oh, man.
Look at that little duck and dive.
Ooh.
Getting the yak. Look at
Mac
that.
Anthony showing something.
Yeah.
Looking like he's trying to keep that QB1 spot to me.
Well, knowing who the coach is, that's probably gonna say. For
He doesn't have to
reasons.
prove anything.
Yeah. I think he's got a very long leash.
You were talking about regressing players. Now you brought up Chris Dixon, and I want to bring up Chris Dixon. As of a season or two ago, that's where we have the stats up to. But he leads the league all-time rushing yards by over 1,000. That leads only the next closest is Akaji Adebowale, who is 400 yards ahead of the next. So Chris Dixon is going to retire as the unquestioned number 1 running back.
Wow.
Look at those
statistically
touchdowns,
in
buddy.
WFA history.
Look at those touchdowns.
For Akaji, yeah, 30 touchdowns. 30 touchdowns and 200. So Chris Dixon has 26 touchdowns in his career. Akaji has 30 in 200 less attempts.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he's going to be having a lot.
Look at his punt.
A great punt.
Fantastic punt. Let's shout him out. Aaron Hughes. That's why you pay for a silver punter right there. And now Charleston is stuck at their own goal line as Lincoln putting another drive up on
We're right where
Indiana.
we want to
Yeah,
be.
threatening the
Just
red
saying.
zone
Get
here.
away.
We're going to see if we can get a safety here in Charleston, but if not, we're going to switch over to Lincoln.
I'll have
Can
to
they get
send
red
you
zone? Can they get
Cool.
a safety here?
Yeah, put together their all-time stats. So I'll have to send you that one.
They're going to throw it out of their own end zone, and it's going to work out route. And Randy Pierce is going to spin out 2 men and get a first down. Gutsy play call there to throw it to your own end zone, but it works out for Charleston.
Yeah, Lincoln trying to put up points again. Looking for their wide receiver, but shut down by number 34, Payne. Is that Justice Payne?
Yeah, I just double-checked with my stats master. Akaji is the highest all-time.
Oh, touchdowns, yeah.
Well, in yards too.
Oh, and yards too? Really?
Yeah, because I put together all the stuff from season 3 forward.
How far is he ahead of Chris Dixon?
Currently, let's see, where did it go? Just have it up.
Wow.
He's up by. He has 7,651. Chris Dixon's at 6,911. And he has 77 touchdowns to Chris Dixon's 46. So.
Wow, my stats are severely outdated.
I'll go ahead and send you that.
I want to ask your opinion, Chad, over in the Lincoln game here. Malcolm, we were talking about how Detroit, did they make a mistake or not with Malcolm Middlebrooks getting rid of him? It's just me, or does he look really inaccurate today?
He's looking a little rough. Lincoln, going for a field goal here.
I mean, when your strategy is basically make it up as you go, that doesn't help your accuracy at all.
Yeah, no, he's had some targets wide open tonight, and just hasn't been able to hit them. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's time to give Bo Montana a chance.
I think in this situation, with the way that this offense is looking, I think they should have just went with Bo Montana, to be honest. Save that cap money, get some skilled position players elsewhere, and let Bo eat, because Bo has a good build. You know, I mean, he was coming out of the draft. He was projected really almost number one at one point. Besides him, I mean, there were some people that had Hudnall number one, he's number one quarterback. Then some people had Bo Montana number one.
I agree with that.
Bo Montana had his chance in Pottsville.
And so absolutely, but yeah, I think Bill Brooks. Like I said, the problem is I mean, you got Bull McCray, the rookie, hasn't had enough time here in the WFA. You got to have some guys that can make some good plays for you, and right now Lincoln just doesn't have those guys.
Over in the Charleston game, they were trying to get it over to that tight end that we talked about earlier, Matt Van Meter, the giant one. We said the only guy that they could really match up with him well was Liam Mullenau, and that's what it looks like. Memphis has moved Liam over there to cover the tight end, and it worked there on third down. And it is indeed the lovely vocals of Chad Rowland there. It's Chad Rowland, great Colin Pierce, and Commissioner Noah Underhill in the booth.
Who do we have watching us today? I don't have the stream pulled up.
Looks like we have Ernest McCray and Sultan, SCG, Mac Anthony, Jake, and Dar, and also Ryder. Those are the comments we have.
Shout out to you guys. Thanks for watching the stream.
The first Red Zone, right? The first ever Red Zone?
Yeah.
First ever Red Zone. I think it's going well so far.
Yeah, I think so.
Haven't had any huge technical difficulties.
So it looks like we are at the first halftime of one of these games. Lincoln up 6-0.
Yeah, we're gonna just
here in the first half.
Pan over to Charleston here as we go through. Look at those stats.
God, look at those yards.
Can we just let's skip over to those stats. Let's zoom in on that
yards.
4.
Wow.
As you can tell, both teams really strong in their rushing game.
Just looking at the pick'em for this week. The Lynx had a few more than the Spiders did, so this is gonna hurt a lot of people if it stays.
I was one of those people.
I can't even remember who I voted for.
Go ahead, Noah.
You voted for the Lynx, Colin.
Okay, good.
I think we all did. Yes, we did. Cool. And then for the DC and Charleston game, only one person picked the Tribe, and that's Ernest McCray.
As that's deep
post,
and that's going to be a touchdown. DC pulling within a score. Great play, great throw by Mac Anthony, and that's going to be the receiver, Jeffrey Macklin.
Yeah, I love Jeffrey Macklin. He's a guy that falls under the radar quite a bit. I think he played for Joel for a time. He played in Miami as well. And he's just been a consistent guy that's been able to get the job done when you give him the ball.
He's nicknamed the Ghost after playing for Montreal. Am I right?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He was matched up against Charleston's number one cornerback, Mojo Rising there, and Rising wasn't able to cover him. I mean, it was a good route there from Macklin and got in front of him, and perfect throw from Mac Anthony to give him a chance to run after the catch with it.
Macklin is 22nd all-time in receiving with 2,400 yards and 16 touchdowns. And I believe we only have the stats for wide receivers from season 5 forward. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And he has traveled the world.
It's true. WFA. We are the world.
We've got Indiana trying to make this a competition today. Chad, what do you think Indiana needs to do after halftime here?
Man, I'll tell you, what they need to do, they got 26 total yards of offense in the first half. Whatever offensive playbook you have, throw it out the window, turn it, redo it again. The offense, I mean, is just looking terrible, right? And granted, I don't think Lincoln's defense is that strong, but come out with 0 points in the first half and nothing to show for it, not even like a red zone trip, just god awful. So they try to find your targets, right? I mean, this is a lower rated team. Obviously, Deshaun Harrison's a silver. You got the duo of Sanders and Hendricks that are silvers. MJ Thomas is your number one wide receiver that you paid $2.5 million extra for, by the way. Go get. Really didn't build much around him. You got Rashid Monahan, who could be a decent player, is a deep threat tight end. I think you should try to maybe utilize him a little bit more in that first half. But defensively, they're playing great. Indiana's playing really good defensively, but offense, they've got to throw away whatever they're trying to do and just start over, and hopefully they can call some better plays this half.
I may have jinxed that game. I said we couldn't possibly see a game that was worse than last night's large football league
Yes, you
game,
did.
and I think I might have to eat my words here.
Yeah, it's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, you may have found
like
it.
that.
Now, something interesting for Indiana. You're looking at Deshaun Harrison, who has some scrambler abilities. You got Rob Cron, who has some scrambler abilities. Amber, you and I were talking about this today. Do you think Indiana should go to a gimmicked offense? Do a little wildcat, do a little something, get these quarterbacks running the football?
Oh, for sure. I mean, at least you'll be having fun while you're losing. That's my strategy. Is if you're gonna lose, have fun with it.
I mean, how close is a Lynx to a Wildcat?
That's true.
That's true.
Sounds perfect. Dara, get on it.
I think that should be trademarked.
You look at, I think Rob Crone, getting him involved with some QB runs wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, his strength bonus power. I mean, he could get some yards on QB snakes.
This is why I say once again, if you're gonna grab a quarterback, Deshaun Harrison, have a playbook that doesn't have some sort of wildcat system in it, you're really doing a disservice to the quarterback. Because he's not, from according to the build, he's not a passing quarterback. He is a scrambling, think on his feet, make plays with his feet type of quarterback. And you're not seeing that at all in his first half. Throw a little scramble in there, throw a little QB sneak in there, throw that Lincoln defense off. It might just be what you need to get back in the lead in this game.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. You need to mold your playbook to your quarterback. Whatever your quarterback's strengths are, those are the kind of plays you need to have in your playbook right now.
Yeah, you have to play your players. You can only you have a coach, especially in this league, you can only put your players in the position to succeed. And right now, Indiana hasn't been doing that in the first half. They're gonna have to adjust that.
Yeah, the story of Deshaun Harrison, he came in and was a silver starter for New Haven back in season 5. He had over 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, looked okay, progressed to gold at that time, and then was left in free agency to die. So that's his story. So he's getting another opportunity finally in Indiana this season under Ryder. So we'll see if he's able to pull it around a little bit.
And the season is young for both of these teams.
Absolutely. Was Ryder running that team at the time when he had Deshaun Harrison?
I can't recall. That's something you're going to have to ask him if he's still in the chat. But yeah, I think that was still when we weren't using playbooks, unless I've forgotten.
Sure.
Yeah, it was definitely before the playbook era.
I think
may
he won
just
most
heard
improved player
stories.
that year.
Maybe there was some scribes written on the walls of New Hampshire talking about how good Deshaun Harrison was, and that's what he brought him into Indiana for.
Some team legends.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a question for you guys here in the booth tonight. Who's sporting the best uniforms this evening?
It's not Indiana, I'll tell you that.
It's between two for me. and it's if you're gonna ask a question about who's the best at anything in this tonight, it's always gonna be the team on the left. And so to me, it's between either DC or Charleston. Personally, I love Charleston's uniforms. I love them when DB isn't changing them every single week for some cause or some person, so I actually know what they look like. It took me 2 seasons in the league to know what then Memphis's uniforms looked like because he was changing them every.
So it looks like OBS Studio just disconnected here on me, but I hope the stream is still rolling. It says it's reconnected. So if anybody's in the chat, please let us know if something's messed up.
It's running at least right now on me.
Okay.
Seems like it's good for right now.
But no, I think you're right. Indiana is in Spider territory, and I don't know what that play was.
It's bad. That's what it was.
It was a little too late. A little too late on that draw play.
Yeah,
Shout
it
out
may have
Jeffrey
been a little.
Cornett.
Man.
Jeffrey Cornett, silver guy that regressed, and now he's trying to build his way back up.
I'll tell you this. They are now back in their own territory.
Yeah, that was short-lived. Let's go back
was very
to Charleston.
Second and 10 here for the Tribe. Flip back formation. And it's going to be a throw out of it. Jamie Spencer. Good protection. Is going to throw deep over the top. It's going to be knocked up and incomplete. Good coverage there. Mojo rising along with others.
Yeah, you don't have to often see that play get picked off. I did see one the other day. I forget what game it was. But, yeah, it doesn't happen too often.
Again, they're going with Corey Phillips down the field as a passing option, which is interesting, I think.
I don't hate it.
I do. Shotgun here for the Tribe. Spencer's going to drop back and throw to the near side. It's going to be caught and out of bounds. Broderick McFadden can't get his feet down. My issue, I like using the fullbacks in the passing game. My issue comes from the fact that he's 5'10".
That's true.
A fullback that's 5'10", 270, I'd rather use in the short passing game and up the middle more than as a deep threat, personally.
I just find it funny.
I mean, that's true.
I love
Play
seeing
with
that kid run.
Play with this Lincoln Indiana game needs.
Strippers?
Well, that too, but let's.
It
Needs this. It needs this.
Ooh, that sounds like a White Claw.
That you know better. I only have one left. That is a Hams, my sir.
Oh, man.
Honestly, a White Claw is about the level of beverage that game deserves.
Yeah, that is, that's the sponsored drink in Nebraska tonight.
White
And
Claw
once again-
might help you survive.
For every touchdown scored, everybody gets to split one White Claw.
Well, if I'm watching that Indiana Lincoln game, I'm sober as hell right now.
And everybody's real sober. That's why it's so quiet here.
My question for you guys here. So Jake every season has his countdown. His countdown to if he's going to be able to pass off his baton of shame of going winless to someone else. Every season he has this, and every season his heart's broken, and we all laugh. We had the Tri-City Fever somehow get a win. I still don't know how they won a game. A couple seasons ago. This season we have a couple candidates for 0-12. My question to you guys is: will either of these teams, Indiana or Lincoln, will one of them go winless this season?
Yes.
Well, they play each other twice. So
They play each
there's
other
always a
twice?
chance. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's
They're in
the
the same division.
that's the wild card right there.
What week is that so I know not to be here?
I'm gonna take a vacation that week.
I think I'm just gonna call in sick now.
Oh, man. I just want to point out how much longer that first half took in Charleston than it did in Nebraska.
Even the game clock wants the game to be done in Lincoln.
Yeah, that game is week 11.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fighters at home.
Barn burner, maybe playoff implications there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're answering the question for real, I do think that there are several options. Obviously, whoever wins this game is mercifully not going to do it. It really just depends on if Lincoln, like if they come out next week and just lose by 70 to Des Moines. Copeland may not be the owner after a while, so maybe somebody else gets in and maybe they get a win.
We switch over to the Charleston game for a replay of that. That was a great play by Tyler Roush.
Sir, yes.
You see here, under pressure, shrugs off a man. Great block in front of him and finds his receiver Pierce for the first down. Great pocket presence from Roush.
Yeah, that was great. And owner Nolan loves to see that. I mean, Nolan was a big advocate of Tyler Roush as Rookie of the Year. So I'm sure they've worked together a lot this offseason to try to strengthen up his weaknesses a little bit. And it shows right there.
Pierce almost ran the wrong way, but he found his compass.
Again, they try to go deep, but also incomplete, so that'll be 4th down, and looks like they'll probably punt again.
Other teams that could be on that winless bubble, you got Detroit after losing to a Copper quarterback the other day. Not looking too hot. New Haven, we'll see what they look like against Pottsville. At Pottsville. No, we're gonna be great.
We'll go 1-11.
Yeah. I mean, I would say one of these two teams, whoever loses this Indiana-Lincoln game, has got a real good shot.
I trust Forge the most out of those 4 teams that I mentioned,
Right.
just because you could see the improvement of the team from when he took over mid-season, but that roster still isn't there, so I'm going to keep putting him in that category.
Yeah, that roster was not in great shape last season either, just looking at it. The playbook just didn't look that great either. But watching that game last night, I mean, yeah, they lost to a Copper quarterback. Yeah, their quarterback got released as soon as he hit the showers. But when you could look at the book and you could tell that it was put together okay. It wasn't a terrible book. It wasn't the greatest book either. It shows that he's learning the process. He's learning how to put the book together. I think that he's going to be able to put that all together after a few games and maybe squeak out a win or two.
Yeah, and that's what keeps you here. I'm not gonna fire you right away just because you lose a bunch of games. Like that's just not my style. I'm gonna give you the opportunity. If you show improvement, then I'll give you a shot. It's the guys that aren't improving that are still on the bubble right now.
Or are the head coach of the Indiana Lynx.
Yeah. Well, I can't really control that. I don't have. Yeah. Anyway.
Surprising stat going on in the Charleston game. Memphis. I did it again. DC is out passing Charleston. 213, I think it was, to 178.
Really?
That's not something I think any of us expected.
Oh.
How's the running game? Because I assume that means they're not running as much.
Maybe someone can trade for Lance Washington.
Well, I will say that I know that owner Nolan Pierce has tried really hard to minimize the game in Charleston. But in order to make up for that, you really got to capitalize on the pass game. And obviously, that has been unsuccessful tonight at home against DC.
One good, huge positive for Charleston tonight, though, is, you're 7 minutes left in the third quarter. They haven't thrown a pick. And this is a team that averaged almost 4 interceptions a game last season. And so the fact that they haven't thrown a pick, I think that's something to hang your hat on.
That's a great point. I wish somebody would get in the red zone.
No, right? Well, I mean, it's going to happen on the left before it happens on the right.
We should have just called this midfield volleyball from the WFA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad has been able to call so many amazing plays in this game.
Because there's been so many amazing plays in this game.
I want to see a
Okay,
big
tell
play
you
from
what.
Bull McRae. That's what I want to see.
But there is a nice little play there by Higdon getting the screen pass there and taking it for a decent amount of yardage to get back into Indiana territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Higdon has the talent. He looked really good when he was in that 1-2 punch with Zach Lott for the Vipers a couple seasons ago. He just hasn't been put in a great position. I mean, it's in Lincoln, so.
Yeah, it's just technical errors. I mean, Higdon was wide open, but still he had to stop there for a couple seconds to catch the ball and then turn upfield. You want to see that caught mid-stride. And just like this, let's head over to Charleston.
Charleston, and off he goes. Is anyone going to catch him? Nobody's going to catch him. That is a giant touchdown for Trey Tucker.
Just
Colin
like that
mentioned
giant turd coming out of his butt right now in that
Oh,
touchdown
yeah.
celebration.
I mean, look at that. One broken tackle and then gone. Perfect blocking. Another touchdown for Tucker. And like Colin said, Nolan put some emphasis on the running game, and it showed as they're going to be up 28-0 in Charleston in front of the home crowd.
Run there by Tucker.
Yeah, that's what Trey Tucker does all
Oh,
the time.
and look at this. We have a play on Lincoln's side here coming up here in a second, boys. I'm a little ahead of myself.
Okay, he's
sorry.
ahead of himself. He can see it.
See, I got to remember I'm looking at the
Ooh,
different
that's
screen
cool.
here.
Okay, here we go.
When you were saying that we're in the huddle.
Take us home, Chad. From the future.
So, yeah, from the future, 3rd and 7 here. Middlebrooks. Back looking deep down the sideline, and Olsen with the big catch, and he is down inside the 5. Big play there by Middlebrooks to the rookie Olsen.
This is a question for you. I mean, there was the guy I talked about earlier, but question for you: does a field goal, even just a field goal, end this game? Does it ice it?
It might,
I
but
hope
that's
not.
that's the best play of the night there. I had the Spiders, best play of the night by anybody on that game.
Yeah, you got
And
3
let's
yards
see
to
what
a
we got
touchdown here. You got 3
It
yards
does-
to a touchdown. If you're Aaron Higdon,
Oh.
you are chomping at the
You're
bit.
running this, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this, Colin. We can call a play. 1st and goal here on the 3. Brooks hands it off to Higdon, runs it straight up the gut, and that is the first touchdown of the game. Lincoln.
That was easy. Yeah, that was easy.
money.
Wide open, good blocking by the.
Nothing.
Yeah, well, you didn't pick him, so
I did not pick him. That's why.
nobody expected this.
So nobody expected this.
Hey, maybe Copeland's just been a defensive genius this whole time.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
About that.
about that.
I think we could handle another game in the red zone. I think we could do 3 at a time.
I think we can too.
Especially if Lincoln and Indiana are playing.
Yeah.
Week 11, we got this.
Yeah.
Week 11, we're running 6 games at one time. We're
But we'll only pay attention to 5.
Lincoln's
Hey,
screen will just stay really small the whole time.
Hey, I'm just glad they did something.
Yeah. I mean, if you're
Yeah, and
Copeland, are you even
if you're-
watching this game right now? And if you're not, when you wake up in the morning, how surprised are you going to be?
In Indiana right here has to make a big play.
Yeah.
Right, this play has to set a tone.
Yeah, ball's in their court.
Ball is in the court. Look at this. They responded here. Look at that big 20-yard play by Deshaun Harrison.
Yeah. Yeah, Deshaun Harrison
That's what you got to do.
hitting up Thomas, wide receiver Thomas. Looked good right there. Is that enough motivation to get them rolling here on this drive?
I mean, really, that's what you have to do, right? You got to find a couple plays here, a couple plays there. Get the team into it. Get the guys into it. Have some confidence because granted, you've been getting your ass kicked all game. You're only down 13. It could be easily made up. We've seen that in the WFA. We've seen that in other leagues before.
Yep.
Where teams can make a huge comeback.
Yeah,
Harrison does have the clutch trait.
there you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah, 13
We'll
points
see
is
what
nothing.
happens. That's nothing.
Especially against Lincoln.
Exactly.
Yeah, MJ Thomas, he's really. It's much like Lincoln, where he's basically their one offensive weapon besides Monahan, but it looks like they're getting MJ Thomas a lot more. I'm concerned, especially about this team, looking at that number 2 receiver spot and the guys that are holding up there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think both these teams have issues. I think if they are able to go out and swing and get another silver wide receiver, even if you get a gold wide receiver and move that silver down to 2, you're in way better position. I mean, if you look at it this way, I mean, Lincoln right now, $24 million in cap. That's a team that could probably make that kind of move. Indiana, how in the world that they only got $3.9 million in cap? I'll never understand, especially when they only have 3 gold players.
And one of those
and one of them's
players
regressed.
is silver.
Yeah, one of them's Shelby Woosley.
Yeah. But really, you have 2 gold players.
But, I mean, I don't know. I look at it from the perspective of if Indiana can put together a good playbook, there's no reason one or more of their receivers could progress next season.
Correct. I mean, look at what Lincoln did last season under me, right? I mean, this team is basically a little bit of the same, maybe worse. And for them to, I think we won, 4 or 5 games last season?
Yeah.
So, that, it can be done, especially with a silver quarterback, with a little lower rated guys at wide receiver. It can be done if you put together the right book.
I agree.
And they're going to have to, because they traded away their first-round pick.
That is correct. And Indiana throwing another pick. Harrison looking like he had a good drive. But Lincoln gets the ball back.
Mac Anthony in the red zone on the left, and he's going to try to throw it. Almost throws a pick of himself. Kurt McDuffie got the pick and the game on the right. Good defensive play by Lincoln.
This is a big offensive move from DC right now. Down by 14.
Absolutely.
They need this one. And on that deflection, that was the rookie Scotty Burns for Charleston. At least he was celebrating, so I assume it was him.
2nd and 10. Technically, you can get first down if you get inside the 1-yard line, but it's effectively 2nd and goal from the 11. Mac Anthony's going to look around. He's going to throw. It's going to be knocked out of his hand. They're going to rule it a forward pass. And 3rd down's coming up. That was number 99.
Crash James.
Lineman Crash James, who I really liked coming out of the draft, and he showed up in a big way right there. Progressed to gold the last season.
Yeah, he's a killer right there. He's been near the top of the tackles the last couple seasons, not surprisingly, since he's a gold now. And they're going to have that for 3 years if he keeps it up.
3rd and 10. He's going to throw across slant route. Intercepted by Charleston. Aids of the Seahawks and Russell Wilson. They try to throw the slant. Andy Todd comes up from the safety spot to make a fantastic play on the ball. Great play by the linebacker to tip it back. And Charleston preserves the 14-point lead and gets the ball at their own 2-yard line.
That's absolutely heartbreaking.
Big interception from Charleston.
Looks like there's some kind of drive happening over there. Game could get interesting.
We're still on safety watch on the left as Trey Tucker gets tackled for a gain of 1 at the 3. But with how Trey Tucker's been running, I'd be shocked if they manage to get him down the end zone.
Yeah, keep running Trey Tucker up the middle.
Yep, I'll agree with that. Fourth and 4 once again, and for Indiana, so they will be punting away. Or I'm sorry, Lincoln was punting away. My fault.
Yeah, so Lincoln has a copper punter, Elias Mendez, and Indiana, they employed a copper punter, Armand Bolden. It's not really giving them an advantage, but if you're a team that's this bad, you really should have a good punter.
That's how you make up for it, right?
Yep.
You get a gold punter.
If you're not gonna, be a good offensive team, at least flip the field and make your defense beat the.
Honestly, I mean,
Charleston having to
Indiana's
punt out of their own end zone.
Sorry to interrupt you, Hammer, but Indiana's doing a great job on defense, keeping Lincoln to 13 points. It's still not out of reach.
Yeah, I mean, they have the defensive talent. Like we said earlier, Samuel Davis, Blood Feaster. They got Bing Chunk as well. Like, it's a good linebacker core, not a bad secondary. Like, Joel Simon's had his moments. You have the rookie Clay Darby, and Illinois Jones, and the Jordan Daniels. This is a young team. We'll just see if it comes up good for them.
Big sack in Lincoln right there.
I don't know how Mac Anthony fit that last pass in there, but somehow gets it in there through to Will Todd through 3 defenders. Look at the replay here. They're throwing it to the tight end out of the backfield, and somehow perfect throw between 3 guys, and DC has a chance to get inside the red zone, only 11 yards away.
Yeah, he's looking a lot better than I expected, I'll be honest.
It looked like actually Harrison got rushed out of the pocket and tried to run, but got stopped behind the line. And so now it's going to be 4th and long for Indiana.
5-yard run off the left side for Lance Washington. Charleston's defense has done a good job containing him for the most part. He's gotten a couple screen passes, but for the most part, Charleston's kept him in check.
Heads up right
There's about
here.
2 minutes to go in the third quarter here in Charleston.
It looks like Indiana converted that 4th down, a deep pass over the middle, and now they've got 1st and 10.
This Indiana game's going to finish like 20 minutes ahead of this Charleston game.
Yeah.
There's Washington out of the backfield, spin out of 1 tackle, get close to another. I think it's 3rd and 13 in the Indiana Lincoln game.
Yeah, 3rd and 13 for the Lynx. Harrison drops back. He's actually going to run out of the pocket.
What a run.
And what a run. And he looked like he tried to spin.
He's trying to get some yards, man.
Bowl.
Yeah.
If he would have actually just, dove ahead, I think he would have easily got that 1st down. 4th and 1. Big moment here in the game for the Lynx. Shotgun formation. Harrison throws it over the middle. That is caught, and that is a 1st down, and it looks like the ball is going to continue to run.
Hurry up over there. We'll bounce back and forth. DC in the red zone here. They're going to hand it off to Washington up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of just a couple. Good defense by the Federals. And back over to the Lincoln game, which 2nd and 6 now.
I mean, it looks like they actually
9.
2nd and 9 here for the Lynx. And Harrison bringing the team up to the line. Shotgun gun quad set here. Harrison drops back. He's going to fire over to the running back, Sanders, and actually loses a yard. Not really the best idea there.
Hate it when that happens.
Charleston managed to stuff DC. Almost gets picked off on another slant route. Number 59. He's been around the ball a lot. Wyatt Zuspin.
Another rookie.
He's the one who tipped it for the pick on the last drive and almost did the same again. Actually, almost got a pick for himself this time. But the DC Tribe are going to have to kick the field goal, and they'll still be down 2 scores.
3rd and 11. Oh, there's a fumble. He snapped it over Harrison's head. And it looks like now it's instead of 4th and 3rd and 9, it was 4th and 31.
I don't know that
Oh
I've seen
my
that.
gosh.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, what's the most you've seen, Noah?
I haven't seen a ton of stuff.
So 4th and 31 for Indiana. This is their last chance.
They're going for it.
You have to. Harrison drops back. He fires.
Oh my gosh!
No
It
way.
is short. It is short.
Oh, what an attempt.
Oh, wow. I mean, you have to give Harrison credit on that. That was a big pass, a big play.
Where's that been all night?
Short.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, where's that been? That looked good.
That looked really good. And Lincoln looking like they just got to run this clock out.
Yeah.
Secure a 1-0 start in Lincoln.
Wow.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah, I'm amazed. Ryder, if you're listening, you need to put some more deep passes in that playbook because that looked good right there.
And you need to
Absolutely.
cut Destin Preston, your copper center. Screwed you out of that one.
Hey, Preston's from Montreal.
I have never seen a snap go over the quarterback's head. I've seen plenty of snaps go over the punter's head.
Yes.
I've never seen a snap go over the quarterback's head in all my sims.
He's also 235 pounds at center. Why?
Well, he can't help it.
Hey, you are absolutely correct. 6'3", 235. That's a baby out there.
And I know that wasn't a draft pick because no way that would have happened. He just got generated at some point.
Yeah, he's
a baby.
Maybe he's used on those CT tosses as a pulling lineman.
Oh, maybe. Well, Lincoln, all they got to do is get a first down.
It's a hard task.
That's a very hard task, but this game will be over if they get a first down. 3rd and 9, and they run the ball out of shotgun formation. And Indiana has the timeout. They're going to get the ball back here. Minute 54 to go.
Yeah, well,
Now, you can probably blame the CPU play calling on that one, but I also feel like Copeland would try that.
Yeah, I'm going to say Copeland's playing chess out here when the Lynx are playing checkers.
Are the Lynx even playing checkers, or are they just playing like,
The Lynx
pick
are
up a couple
playing like
sticks?
Don't Spill the Beans. You ever played that?
They're playing pickup sticks.
They're banging their head against the board.
Basically, what they're doing is they've taken a piece of paper and made it into squares, and they've cut little squares, little circles to be their checkers pieces. So it's like
I think that's too much effort, Chad. I think they
That's
just
like
have a piece of paper.
No,
It's
they're
like
not
Harbor
doing
Freight.
that.
It's like a Harbor Freight version of checkers.
Don't you talk shit about Harbor Freight. You take that back.
WFA, not sponsored by Harbor Freight anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I have.
We just lost our
half my
contract,
tools-
Chad. Thanks.
Half my tools are Harbor Freight, so I love Harbor Freight, but this is not the checker set that you see at Cracker Barrel.
Indiana has a Harbor Freight Center.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet in Nebraska and Indiana there's a lot of Harbor Freights.
Oh, there's a lot of Harbor Freights in Indiana.
Yeah. I would say Copeland probably works at one of them.
I'm sure.
Or did.
Yeah.
They fired him after this game.
We have real world repercussions for this statement, Chad.
Indiana 3rd and 3 here. I-4 twin set.
Lincoln just had a big completion. Or, sorry, DC.
Big throw to
Yeah.
Jeffrey Macklin. Mac Anthony has been up and down. He had the picks, but he's had some stellar throws down the field. As Lincoln tries to chip, not Lincoln, Indiana tries to chip away at their yardage as well. But great throw, great extension, great job holding onto the ball.
They're still stuck in that I formations. Harrison drops back,
Oh.
and
Oh
that
my
was
God.
intercepted. Kurt McDuffie getting the pick. It's his second one of the night.
Yeah, that was one of the moves that I was actually surprised that he made, and it's working out apparently.
Yeah.
Like he's
But he
probably their
needed to
best
get-
player, and he's doing the work for the whole defense right now.
And he needed to get somebody in that defensive secondary. I mean, he had nobody last season. So getting Kurt McDuffie was an excellent pickup for him.
I think this Lincoln game's going so much faster because the replays aren't going through for some reason.
I don't know because I set it as frequent, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Weird. Look at that Malcolm
It happens sometimes.
Middlebrooks QBR.
Is it
56.2.
66?
Get him out of there, please.
Yeah, he's going to be a silver next season.
Yeah.
We just got news here that Wahama High School here in Mason County, West Virginia, is up 37-0 at halftime against Ravenswood.
Good for them.
Wahama is ranked
Good.
number 3 in the state currently in single A football.
Yeah, they've brought a lot of players to the WFA, so they got to be pretty good.
Yeah, Dave Barr just sent that in. He is coaching at Wahama this year.
Nice. Double duty. The old Davester.
He was my wide receiver coach growing up.
Yeah. when you threw 3 passes and
That was back in the day when they tried to make me a quarterback.
And it looks like the final snap has happened here in Lincoln,
Yeah, that's
where looks like the Spiders are coming away with a victory.
I'm amazed.
13.
and a shutout.
Yes, pitching a shutout. Who would have thought that?
Ryder's in a hurry to shake hands. Did you see that? He was,
he is. He was like
running over.
He's ready to go back to Indiana, man. Yikes. I mean, do we even want to ask our thoughts on this game?
I think our thoughts are pretty out there. At
Or,
this point.
I think we're out there.
Yeah, we've
I don't think
expressed to them enough.
I don't think we need to waste time.
It's not too late. Let's be clear on that. It's not too late. Ask for help. Figure things out.
Hire someone that knows what they're doing.
Yep.
There you go. That's what I was getting ready to say here is, get somebody in there that can help you coach, knows how to put the book together.
Yep.
Take it from me, it changes your whole team.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing as far as coaching is concerned. Even though I somehow pulled together a decent defensive playbook just by picking names that sounded cool. But if you have the right person behind your team, it changes everything.
I agree. Crabs are scary this year because Noah put together a good roster and Hammer can put together a great playbook. So, yeah, you're exactly right. You got to humble yourself in order to have a good team that's going to take you to the Gym Bowl in this league.
Know your strengths.
Yep. So who do we think the player of the game is going to be here for Lincoln tonight?
It better be Kurt McDuffie.
Yeah, that's who I
Didn't he
would
have
go
2
with.
picks?
I would go with McDuffie. He had 2 picks.
2 picks? I'm going to go Aaron
And it
Higdon.
looks like, let's see who it is. Boomer Tiggs.
Really? A defensive end?
Love that.
That's cool.
3 sacks.
The boy Boomer Tiggs doing the work while we were looking at the other game.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Congrats,
3 sacks.
Boomer. Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait to look at the stats after.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
God.
Yeah, Chad, don't forget to roll through stats. I'm going to try to make this
Yep,
screen
I'm
bigger
doing it
here
right now.
for Charleston. We're just going to
Because I don't think we don't need to see this hogwash. Total yards. 199 total yards for Lincoln. I'm
Gross.
sorry. 199 total yards for Indiana.
Ooh, look at this play.
Big run by Randy Pierce down the sidelines. Taking Tyler Roush over 250 yards tonight.
Suave Pierce doing the work on the outside. That little double hesitation move. Got him. Nice play.
Yeah.
That's Tyree Britton.
That is crazy. Just like looking through these stats as I'm scrolling through. Lincoln was very balanced. 32 pass plays, 30 run plays.
Not bad for
Wow.
a generic playbook.
Not bad for a playbook that was was very generic. That's what is it, does that okay? Let me ask this. Let's ask this question while we're sitting here thinking about it. Does that make it worse that
Seems like you're catching every
Indiana
ball. I'm in the rhythm, man.
Had a
This is
custom?
fun.
generic playbook?
Yeah.
Well, remember, Omaha Marshals,
Yeah.
they had a generic playbook. What was it, season 6 or 7? And they made the playoffs.
It's just
They didn't even have an owner.
I beat Jake with a
They
generic
made-
playbook.
Oh!
Picked off in the red zone. There it is. We talked about how safe they'd been with the ball in this game. But,
Y'all see that
old
pick?
habits die
Textbook,
hard.
baby.
And
Textbook.
DC gets a much-needed interception to give themselves life in this game. Only down by 11, 6 minutes to go.
They got a shot at it. They just need to capitalize right now. I mean, I don't think we've seen a lot of Josh Butterly tonight, and I know he's not a gold anymore, but he's probably still a great option with the route god.
Hand off to Lance Washington. Washington only gets 2, and I don't think that running the ball is going to win you this game down by 11.
Yeah,
Very true.
I agree. And I got to say, I mourned for a couple days after Josh Butterly regressed to silver.
Me too. I don't remember whose fault that was, but I was mad.
Miami's.
Yeah. Too bad. Maybe he'll get back there one day.
Anthony throws it across the middle. It's going to be caught. Weak side defender gets close to first down, but they're going to mark him just short at the 22-yard line. 3rd and 1 coming up.
I mean, they still have time, so they don't need to worry about, like, throwing the sideline and making sure you're out of bounds. But that would probably be helpful when you know you're going to have to score twice.
Still have all their timeouts. They're going to have to make a stop on defense and get 2-point conversion. Jumbo set here again. And probably going to be a run to Lance Washington, maybe a swing pass. Going to be a run up the middle. Lance Washington will get the first down.
Yeah, if you could guarantee that he's going to rip off a long one, if you have a magic play at running back, then maybe. But otherwise, I'm not seeing that as a great strategy. But maybe they're just not conscious of the time yet, APF, I mean.
I have to bring this stat up during this game. There's a reason why Boomer Tiggs won player of the game. So we had 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss.
Very nice. What a great, almost a great play.
Broderick McFadden couldn't reel that one in. And that's a big drop. I mean, maybe if he had gloves on, he's going with the bare-handed approach. But that stat that Chad brings up is an important one because right now DC can't afford to go backwards in this game. They need to score and score quickly, just in case they if they can get a score before the 2-minute warning, you don't have to worry about allowing
What was that?
first down and it being the end of the game. But terrible throw there from Mac Anthony. Felt the pressure, and it looks like he was going for Phillips once again.
Phillips must have been sitting at the sideline buffet. I didn't see him anywhere near that.
Yeah.
He was in there in spirit.
Wow.
Maybe he went invisible for a couple seconds.
Mac Anthony Jr. Shotgun 3rd and 10. You have to think this is 4-down territory for the Tribe. He's going to throw the out route, and they're going to indeed play it as 4-down territory. Bring up a 4th and manageable here for the DC Tribe.
Yeah, this is really the play that's going to make or break their chance at winning here. So
keep the intensity.
See how it
Don't
goes.
let him get it.
Bring
Come
your
on.
best
We
play
gotta
out of
stop
the
here.
playbook
We gotta stop
here.
here.
I think that someone to look for, obviously, Josh Butterly. One guy who's been showing up a lot is Brody Slayman, Jeffrey Macklin, and Broderick McFadden, also the other 2 receivers. Or maybe just Lance Washington out of the backfield. We're going to find out here as Mac Anthony's going to snap out of the shotgun, throw a quick pass, slant route, first down, caught. And they're going to go into the hurry-up offense. I'm not quite sure who caught it. I'm guessing it was probably Broderick McFadden. First down to 41. Spencer throws at the throw, and Lance Washington just gets out of bounds, which I think you'll take that to stop the clock. But not a great throw from Mac Anthony. It led his receiver out of bounds. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 11.
they really got to have a better plan than that. And I know swing passes can be dangerous, but I think you got to start throwing it down the field.
40-yard line, you need a touchdown or a field goal on this drive. You have 60 yards to go. Under center, Mac Anthony drops back. He's going to throw a screen, and once again, they lose yardage on the play.
Can't score if you're always moving backwards.
Third and 13 coming up here. This is an important drive. They're wasting valuable time. At least they've been out of bounds. But the play calling on this drive has been questionable
Watch the double
at
team
best.
over there.
Mac Anthony, who also calls the plays for this team. Well, his father calls the plays, I should say. Like we said before, 3-down territory. You don't have to get it all in this play here. Anthony's going to try to get it all in this play. Out route caught. First down, Tribe, and they are in Charleston territory.
That was a great play from Mac Anthony. Pressure was in his face, and he still got the ball out, got it to Macklin. And got it on the sideline, too, so saved that time, too.
Working against Mojo Rising, and Mojo Rising's had a rough day against Jeffrey Macklin, giving up 2 big plays. One was a touchdown. This one, a key third down conversions. Mac Anthony, 77.3 rating. You see the rest of the stats on the screen with the 3 interceptions. That may be what's kept his team from being closer in this one. He has to be clean with the ball on this drive. Under center, Anthony's going to throw it. In route is going to be caught. Great throw, great catch with a defensive lineman right in his face. Mac Anthony completes it, and they hurry up to the line. 1-step drop, throws it out to Phillips. That's only going to be a gain of 2. They're going to stay in the hurry up here. Hopefully they have some different plays in this formation, and it's not just a spam play to the fullback, because that might signal a field goal on this drive. Just outside of easy field goal range, Mac Anthony's going to throw the out route again. It's going to be knocked away. Mojo Rising this time. Had good coverage.
No way,
Yeah,
baby.
good coverage by him.
Nowhere.
The pass rush was getting in there. That was Pitt to Elder. He was a Rookie of the Year at some point in his career, so he's doing really well. Back to Jeffrey Macklin. He's in his contract season, so getting big plays like this could really help him get that contract.
3rd and 8 coming up here for the Tribe. It's going to be dropped back from Anthony. Across the middle, caught on the 50 Z tight end cross. Hurry up now. Just under 3.5 minutes to go in this one. Down by 11. Jamie Spencer trying to give his team an opportunity.
That's not Jamie Spencer, Hammer.
Mac Anthony's going to be picked off. 4th pick of the day for Mac Anthony. Not Jamie Spencer. Jamie Spencer's on the bench. But Mojo Rising, we picked on him just a few plays ago, and Bad Moon picks him off in the end zone. Read the play like a book. He was going for Macklin, and that might just seal it.
And I know hindsight's 20/20, but do you think Memphis would have been better off starting Jamie Spencer tonight?
Yes, like Jamie Spencer has proven in the past that he can be a great starting quarterback. Like, I mean, he's not a world beater yet, but he was 9th in passing yards. He was number 3 in QBR last season. Like, he was really good as a starter. I don't think that starting Mac Anthony is the best way to win games. That's why I don't expect much from DC this year. Like, obviously they competed with Charleston in this game, but even still, I don't expect a lot from him if they're not going to be starting Jamie Spencer. And especially if they're not going to start him, then why is he on this team? It's a Jimmy Garoppolo situation, to reference another football league. But if he's not going to play, then you're really putting this kid in a bad position. And you're just basically, by starting him, you're telling your fans and you're telling me that you aren't looking to win this year.
Talking with head coach and owner Mac Anthony, he brought up that he wishes Jamie Spencer was taller. Maybe that's part of the reason why Jamie's on the bench. Maybe Jamie can get some stilts, take some growth pills, something.
Maybe hang upside
Whatever
down
it is.
on one of those lumbar traction machines.
Maybe. But I don't think you need to be, like, obviously it helps, but he's proven he doesn't need it. So
What were those things from the 80s? Were they moon boots? That you hung upside down on a pull-up bar?
I don't know, I wasn't alive, so
Me neither.
God, moon boots.
Moon boots. Chad was.
I mean, I was a kid.
Rouse throws. That's picked off. Hold on.
Chad was
Hold on,
there.
guys. This might save Chad from his age, but Dale Jeffries with a pick here for the DC Tribe. And DC hasn't wasted a timeout yet. DC has all 3 timeouts, 1:55 to go, and the ball at midfield. This one isn't quite over yet.
that is
I mean,
the
it could be
brother.
about 2 plays, but
That is the brother of Cooter Jeffries, a former Crabs cornerback. Love to see him making a play.
I formation for the Tribe. Nickel defense from Federals.
Oh, that's a heat.
Spencer's going to air it out downfield toward the end zone. He has a man. He has a touchdown, and we have a game on our hands.
They are right back in it. We wrote him off, but Broderick McFadden doing what he did so well in Fargo this season. Get those deep routes and make a play. Mac Anthony, that's a great throw from the kid. And I know we were talking down on him, but can't deny that one.
Yeah, that looked amazing. I'm going to say that DC is looking almost like Donald Trump fighting the feds off here tonight. Looking fantastic, like they got a mission on their hands here. They're going for 2.
Going for 2, which is the right call. Makes it a field goal game. See what they have drawn up here. They've had some good plays out of this formation. It's going to be a handoff to Washington. He's stuffed.
That's really unfortunate. That means they're going to have to get the ball back and get a touchdown now to win this football game. Still possible, though.
Let's zoom in.
Jesus.
Fourth quarter comeback.
Jesus Rising was the cornerback who got burnt on that play there. And we have a game that's onside kicks. Onside kicks, obviously not the easiest thing to get here. But if they don't get it, they still have 3 timeouts. It's going to be recovered by Charleston, but 3 timeouts in hand, a minute 48. If they can force a 3 and out, this one might still have some life left.
Yeah, you got to look at guys like Freddie Trammell, like Kingston Simpson on that defensive line, and Freddie Trammell at linebacker. Guys, make a play, wrap up, do what you got to do.
Tyler Roush, you got to be telling your quarterback just to stay safe and keep the ball on the ground, but they're going to throw it here. They're going to step up and throw it, and it's going to be complete for a gain of 6. Gutsy play calling there from Nolan Pierce, and DC will take their first time out.
I mean, getting the ball in your hands of your best player, Randy Pierce, one of the best in the league, it's probably going to go okay if you can get him the ball, but yeah, definitely a risky move. It worked out for him, though.
Charleston has a bronze kicker in David Leathers, who is one of the better kickers in the league. I don't know if they trot him out from this distance, see if they put it on the ground here. They will, and up the middle, and that should about do it. DC will take their second timeout, but with only a timeout left and a minute 40 to go, that might put a kibosh on the comeback attempt.
Yeah, you're basically hoping for a fumble at this point, which, as we know, doesn't happen a lot in APF, so it would have to be a miracle play. We'll see what happens.
Indeed, they're just kneeling it out here. Can't do quick math. Not sure if they'll get the ball back with any time, but if they do, it will have to be a touchdown and 2-point conversion to tie and send this game to overtime.
I don't know what it is either.
Certainly an exciting finish here in Charleston. They made it interesting. Mac Anthony, up and down performance.
I mean, it's his first start as a bronze rookie. Got to be expecting it. But,
I mean, he kept his team in it despite being bronze. You can clean up those interceptions. DC could have something going. It's a little bit after the play scuffle there as things are starting to get a little tacky.
Yeah, you love to see the fight from the guys, though. They didn't give up on him. And they're still hoping that maybe they can get in these guys' heads and somehow get enough time left.
See when they kneel it down. I expect them to wind this clock all the way down, but it looks like they will have about 10 seconds, maybe less, depending on when this is snapped. I expect Charleston to probably go for the field goal. But would you, as your coach, I mean, this situation, Phil, who could be blocked, you could miss it and give the team good field position. What do you think? Would you punt it here and try to pin them deep?
No points here.
I
Gonna
would.
bust to the line and block this kick.
I think a field goal would make it 8. So that's a even tougher, right?
But if they block it here
That's
or
true.
miss, DC has a chance with probably about 20 seconds to go in this game. Just about 15. This is going to look like a 47-yard field goal. I'm terrible at estimating these. It's up, and the kick is no good.
Ooh.
16 seconds on the clock. David Leathers didn't have the leg.
Things are getting interesting now.
I can't
You're
hardly
right.
stand
That was
it.
the right call in the situation. Just barely missed it.
Just short, and now Mac Anthony has a chance to be a legend
With
in his first start.
with at least a couple plays.
We've seen their ability to score on one play drives. Back in shotgun here. 16 seconds, you're trying to get out of bounds or get it deep. Mac Anthony gonna drop back, steps up, throws out route. Good decision there to save time. About two plays left. 445 yards from Mac Anthony in his debut.
That's looking like a Tyler Roush stat line.
It almost is identical to a Tyler Roush stat line.
This is it! It all comes down to this! Right.
You're hearing the quarterback saying that all comes down to this. He's right. He sounds like he's been smoking a little bit too much. But they're already in Hail Mary formation. You probably have 2 attempts at this, assuming there is no sack. We already know Mac Anthony has the arm, but can his offensive line give him the time? Free rusher, and he's going to go down. That's going to be the game. Josh Butterly missed his block, and they're not going to be able to snap this ball. That's going to do it here in Charleston. Charleston hangs on 28-23.
Yeah, great play. Just free rusher. Easy as they come. What a way to end the game.
Yeah, that was a great
Josh?
game. That was exciting. I mean, both teams really showing up in the passing game. Trey Tucker having a good week 1, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, he definitely showed up. About what I would expect from him, like those long runs, breaking tackles. Like this is why he should have been number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have that extra speed that Radosevic is not gonna have.
Yeah.
I mean, he has showed up well as well, but Trey Tucker just has that little extra thing, which is why I prefer him.
Yeah.
I think one thing we learned in this game, Charleston is much more comfortable going with a balanced attack, and all teams should be afraid of that. If Trey Tucker can continue to put this great performance on the ground, you won't just be able to single in on Tyler Roush. And taking pressure off Tyler Roush, as we see here, interceptions were the key to this game. If Charleston throws it like they usually do, who knows? Maybe the game goes a little bit differently, but their ability to control the clock, control the ball, really, really helped them late in this one.
Yeah, obviously Randy Pierce was a big part of this win as well, getting those big plays down the field. But yeah, looking at DC, I mean, they had the opportunities. Like this throw, if they had gotten that touchdown, this would be a whole other thing we'd be talking about. But yeah, they had it at the end. There's not a ton more, like for a rookie, there's not a ton more that you can do to get this win. So it's a real tough loss, but I think they'll be able to come back. Let me pull up their schedule, see who they have next.
Well, you pull that
I
up,
think they
was
go
just
on
gonna
to play
say
the Stingers next, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so for the DC Tribe, they are heading to Myrtle Beach to play the Stingers. We'll get the other games that we saw today as well. Lincoln is going to Des Moines. We'll see if they can go to 2-0. Indiana is going at Green Bay. I mean, no, they're at home against Green Bay, excuse me. So that should be interesting. And then let's find the Federals. They are at Detroit.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great week 1 kickoff for the Charleston Federals. If you're Nolan Pierce, talking to your team in the locker room after all this, what are you saying?
You got to be happy with the performance. I mean, they did give up quite a bit, like we were talking about with Mojo giving up those plays. I mean, but they were giving them up to good players. But I think the better team won today, and they should feel pretty good about what they were able to put out there. Especially
I agree with that. Having that balance, I mean, you just even though they gave up 500 plus yards, only giving up 23 points, and the points are what matters. You know, they played perfect bend but don't break defense, and that's what you need. I mean, we know this offense can score. That's not the issue. That was never the issue. Was not their offense scoring. It was more their defense. And can they keep up? I mean, they allowed 26 points a game, almost 27 last season. And if their defense can step up, especially in those big moments, this could be a formidable team.
Yeah, and they're going to be competing with. Their division is DC, Detroit, Myrtle Beach. So Charleston has a very, I'll say they have a pretty solid shot at being able to win that division and make a playoff run. So this was a great way to start that.
Yeah, I would say so,
Certainly.
especially considering that the who I would consider to be the number 2 seed losing their starting quarterback yesterday. Yeah, Charleston's looking good in their division. And Noah, would you care to talk a little bit about what the seeding will be like this season? I don't know if we've really discussed it or what it's going to be like, but would you care to talk about that a little bit for the playoffs?
Yeah. So as I think everybody should know at this point, there are no conferences this year. There's just 5 divisions, so it's going to be by record. Like whoever has the best record is going to be in the playoffs. I don't remember what our usual division. I don't think we have a division protection for that anyway. But
I don't know.
It's basically just. I
know that we have you play your division opponents twice. So I wasn't sure if there were if the number 1 seed in each division automatically made it to playoffs or not, and how many people made it and that sort of thing.
They automatically make it. I just don't know if I don't think they have an automatic top 4 or 5 in this case. I don't think we have that.
Okay.
But they do automatically make it if they win the division. That's how who was it last year that made it in with a losing record?
It was somebody
Lincoln.
in the
Lincoln.
West.
Oh, no, not Lincoln. Well, the entirety of the West.
Yeah, the whole West was
Made it.
tied.
Kansas City, Louisiana, and Jamaica all made it with 5 and 7 records.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how it's going to look this season. So wins definitely mean a lot.
Good deal. Well, guys, I had a lot of fun. I think Red Zone was super successful tonight. I'd like to try to do something like this again next week if you guys are down. Any
awesome.
final remarks before we sign off tonight?
Liam, you want to go first?
Well, I think this was a ton of fun. Thank you for doing the stream, Chad and Colin. Thank you for emceeing it all. It's a lot of work behind the scenes that not everyone knows, but it's a good amount of work. So thank you for that. And great game tonight. Great game.
Great game.
And then a good drive from the other one. But good luck to all these teams as they go through the rest of the season. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the season progresses.
Yeah, there's still plenty of WFA action coming. We got a couple games still to play this weekend, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel. Thanks to everybody who showed up, watched the stream tonight. And yeah, thanks so much, Colin. This means a lot to me. Just to be able to do something like this is incredible. So I really appreciate all the work you put in to make this happen, and hopefully we can keep doing this the whole season because it was really, really fun.
Yeah, no problem. And Chad?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on to do the broadcasting. Even though I didn't get to talk a whole lot due to the Lynx and Fighter game sucked, but obviously being able to stream and do this and that, doing the Red Zone was a lot of fun. Like Noah said, we have plenty of WFA action coming up. There's a lot of great football left to be played, including for this weekend. So tune in for that. We're looking forward to the next time we could do the Red Zone because it was a lot of fun and a lot of work goes to Colin for making this happen. So thanks again, Colin, for everything tonight.
Yeah, no problem. This is a lot of fun for me too. So don't worry about that, Chad. Next week we get to pick the game that we're gonna announce. So
Yes.
We'll leave Hammer and Noah for the shit to clean up later. But
That'll work.
anyways, I had a blast. If anybody watching this is interested in announcing, let us know. And if you have any comments about the Red Zone, anything that we could do better, or anything that you liked or didn't like, please let us know so that we can improve this and make it fun. I think this is something different that we can do as a league. And, man, I sure enjoyed doing it. I think it was a lot of fun. So until week 2, fellas, we'll be signing off. Good night, and thanks for watching.